Good morning students. I hope you have already gone through the previous unit. Now before starting the next unit, that is kinematics, I would like to draw your attention on some basic mathematical principles or operations which we'll be using in physics. First one is quadratic equation. Then we'll be discussing about binomial theorem. After that, exponential series, logarithm, trigonometry, limits, differentiation and integration. Since you have already studied many of these things in your previous classes, so I hope that you are having a concept of it. Let's revise some of the things and learn some new things also. Let's move on to the first thing, that is quadratic equation. As you all know, a quadratic equation is an algebraic equation of second order. That is, in a quadratic equation, the highest power of the variable will be 2. It is written in this form, that is ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0, where a is not equal to 0. Also, we can calculate the value of its solutions by Sridharacharya or quadratic formula, which is x is equal to minus b plus minus under root b square minus 4ac upon 2a. We have already solved various questions on this formula. Let's see one for an example. The question says, find solutions of 10x square minus 27x plus 5 is equal to 0. Since the power of x is 2 and that itself is the maximum power also, so what we can say over here, that this is a quadratic equation. Comparing this with the general equation, we can say that the value of a will be 10 over here, b will be minus 27 and c will be 5. Applying these in the Sridharacharya formula, what do we have? Since we had minus b and the value of b is also minus 27, so minus into minus is plus, so we are getting 27 over here. Also b square, that is minus 27 square, which amounts to 729. Further, minus 4ac, we have put value of a and c, and as a result we are getting minus 200 over here, and in the base we are taking 2a, so it is 2 into 10. 10 is the value of a over here. Ultimately, solving this equation, we are getting the value of x to be 5 by 2 or 1 by 5. Let's move further to next topic, binomial theorem. In your previous classes, you have already studied about monomials, binomials and polynomials. As you already know, an algebraic equation having two terms is known as binomial. As you can observe in this example itself, we have taken two terms which have an addition operation in between them, and such an equation is known as binomial. When we multiply a plus b into a plus b, we will get a plus b whole square, which on solving gives us a square plus 2ab plus b square. In the same way, when we have taken a plus b whole cube, which is a plus b into a plus b into a plus b, we are getting a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. What I have done over here is that first I have multiplied a plus b into a plus b, I got this thing from here, and then I have multiplied this equation with a plus b. Now, in the same manner, we have taken out the value of a plus b raised to the power 4 over here, which comes out to be a raised to the power 4 plus 4a cube b plus 6a square b square plus 4ab cube plus b raised to the power 4. I would like to draw your attention to one interesting thing over here. If you observe in all these three equations, you will see that the powers on the variables are following a fixed pattern. As you observe over here, we had two variables A and B. Now in the first term the maximum power is on variable first, that is A square. In the last term the maximum power is on the variable second, that is B square. And in between, what are we observing? When we are moving from left to right, the power on A keeps on decreasing, whereas the power on B keeps on increasing. As a result, what do you observe? That the power of A was 2 over here, it is 1 over here, and it is 0 over here. Since if we write over here A raised to the power 0, so anything raised to the power 0 is 1. So what can we say over here? That the power of A is decreasing over here. At the same time, if we observe the power of B, it is increasing. Since here it is 2, then we are getting 1, and here it is 0. So what are we observing? That it is increasing when we are moving from left to right. In the same manner, when you have a look at in the other equations also, you will observe the same definite pattern. And that is, as you can see here, the power of A was 3 over here, which decreased to 2 and 1, and subsequently it became 0. In the same manner, the power of B was 0 over here, it became 1, then 2, then 3. Similarly, in the last equation we can see that the power of A was 4 over here, which decreased to 3, then 2, then 1, then 0, and contrary to it, we had the power of B as 0 over here, then 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. Please note one thing, that in all these equations and in every step, the sum of the powers of any term is equal. That is, as you can observe over here, power of A is 2, here power of A is 1, power of B is 1, so 1 plus 1 is 2. Again here power of B is 2, so power is 2. That is, we are getting the powers of each terms equal. In the same manner, observe here also, power of A is 3, here power of A is 2 and B is 1, so 2 plus 1 will be 3, and here power of A is 1, B is 2, so 2 plus 1 will be 3, and here the power of B is 3. That is, for each term the sum of the powers is same. You can observe the same thing in this equation also. Let's move further and see how are we writing these, or where from are these getting these coefficients in these equations. Students, here we have a new topic in mathematics, which is permutations and combinations, the details of which you will study in mathematics itself. However, here we are going to use combinations in order to determine the coefficients of the above equations. Let's see how are we going to do that. The formula for combinations is NCR is equal to n factorial upon r factorial n minus r whole factorial. Now what is this factorial? If we are taking n factorial, it can be expressed as n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 into n minus 3 and so on till 3 into 2 into 1. Let's take an example to make this easier for you. Suppose we have to find out the value of 5 factorial. How will we do it? 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, which comes out to be 120. In the same way, for 4 factorial, we can take it out by multiplying 4 into 3 into 2 into 1, which is 24. Please note one thing, the value of 0 factorial is taken as 1. Now, let's apply this and find out few values. Suppose we take the value of n as 2 over here and r as 0 over here. That is, we have to find out the combination for 2C0. So, Putting it in the above formula, what do we get? 2 factorial upon 0 factorial into 2 minus 0 whole factorial. Equating it, what do we get? We already know that the value of 2 factorial will be 2 into 1, which is 2. 0 factorial is 1. 2 minus 0 will again give us 2 factorial. Now, since in the numerator and denominator we are having 2 factorial, so they both will get cancelled and ultimately we are getting the value 1 over here. Let's find out the value for 2c1. Again, since the value of n is 2 over here, so putting in the formula we have 2 factorial upon 1 factorial, then 2 minus 1 whole factorial. We can represent it as or we can say that the value of 2 factorial will be 2 upon 1 factorial will be 1, and 2 minus 1 is again 1 factorial, that is it will be 1. So 2 upon 1 will account to 2. Now in the same manner we find out the value of 2c2, so we can express it as 2 factorial then upon 2 factorial into 2 minus 2 whole factorial. 2 factorial and 2 factorial will get cancelled from here. 2 minus 2 is 0 factorial, which is 1. So ultimately we are getting the value 1 over here. The interesting thing to be observed over here is that when we wrote the equation of a plus b whole square as a square plus 2ab plus b square, and we compare that with the values over here, we see that the coefficient of a square was 1. The coefficient of AB is 2 and the coefficient of B square is 1 over here. So ultimately what are we observing? If we consider R, that is the value of R was 0, 1 and 2 in these 3 combinations. So if we consider the value of R as the power of B over here, so we can find out the coefficients. As you can observe over here, the power of B is 0 over here, so we are putting this coefficient over here where we have taken R is equal to 0. The power of B is 1 over here, so we are putting this coefficient where value of R is 1. The power of B is 2 over here, so we are putting this value where the value of R was taken as 2. In this way we attain the coefficients. Let's see one more equation. For example, here we have taken the value of n to be 4 and value of R as 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 consequently. Now let's see, for 4c0 it can be written as 4 factorial upon 0 factorial, then 4 minus 0 whole factorial. Again, since this is 4 factorial and this will also come out to be 4 factorial, they will get cancelled. Value of 0 factorial is 1, so ultimately we get the value 1 over here. In the same way, solving 4c1, we get 4 factorial upon 1 factorial, then 4 minus 1 factorial. Now we can write it as 4 factorial upon 3 factorial. Since the value of 1 factorial is already 1, so I have neglected it. So we can write 4 factorial upon 3 factorial. I have written in this manner so that whenever you are getting larger numbers, it may be easier for you people to solve them out. As you can see over here, 4 factorial can be written as 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. 3 factorial can be written as 3 into 2 into 1. As you can see, 3 into 2 into 1 is common on common in numerator and denominator, so it will get cancelled and ultimately you will get the value 4 over here. In the same manner you can solve the other values also. On solving, I got the value of 4c2 as 6, 4c3 as 4 and 4c4 as 1. Now if we compare it with the equation for a plus b raised to the power 4, we observe that the coefficient of a raised to the power 4 is 1, which is same as this one. Coefficient of a cube b is 4, which is same as this one. A square b square is 6. ab cube is 4, and finally the coefficient of b raised to the power 4 is 1. Or you can observe that the for values, or you can say that for the values of the powers of the b, when the power of b was 0, we got the value 1. It was 1, we got the value 4. It was 2, we got the value 6. It was 3, so we got the value 4, and ultimately when it was 4, we got the value 1 over here. So what did we observe? That when we are multiplying any binomial equation with itself, it can be expressed with fixed pattern of powers and values from combinations. So the exact binomial theorem for any positive integral index n states that x plus a whole raised to the power n can be expressed as nc0 x raised to the power n, nc1 x raised to the power n minus 1 a, plus nc2 x raised to the power n minus 2 a raised to the power 2, plus, and we keep on adding so on, and ultimately we get a term where ncr into x raised to the power n minus r a raised to the power r, plus, and we keep on adding, ultimately the last term of this particular theorem will be ncn a raised to the power n. As we have already observed that the power of x is decreasing continuously by 1. We had x raised to the power n, n minus 1, n minus 2, and so on. Similarly, the power of a is continuously increasing. Here we had the power of a as 0, 1, then 2, and so on. And ultimately when we are getting the power of a as r, there what are we observing? The power of x is n minus r. As we keep on moving further, ultimately we are coming to a position where the power of x decreases to 0. That is x is power 0 over here, we can write it as, which is 1, so I haven't represented it, and the power of a becomes maximum, so it has become n over here. Likewise we were observing b in previous cases. Thing to be noted here is that in this equation a is some constant, and NCR can be represented as n factorial upon r factorial into n minus r factorial, which I have already told you. Please note one more thing, that the total number of terms in this expansion will be n plus 1. Likewise, we have observed earlier also, in the expansion of a plus b whole square we were getting 3 terms. In the expansion of a plus b whole cube we were getting 4 terms. And in the expansion of a plus b whole raised to the power 4 we were getting 5 terms. Now when we are studying physics, we will come up across the use of binomial theorem in certain equations, or we'll have to solve certain equations using binomial theorem, whereby we'll have the equation in form of 1 plus x whole raised to power n, where the value of mod of x will be less than 1, and n may be a positive or negative integer, or it may be a positive or negative fraction. In such a situation, using binomial theorem, we can express it as 1 plus x whole raised to power n is equal to 1 plus nx plus n into n minus 1 x square upon 1 into 2, and so on. One thing to be noted here is that since the value of mod of x is already less than 1, So number of times we keep multiplying it with itself, its value will keep on decreasing, and this is the reason that for the terms having high powers, that is for the terms which will be having values as x cube and above, we neglect those terms. Our next topic is exponential series and logarithmic series. We've already studied about exponents and logarithms in your previous classes. Let's see. The exponential series can be written as e is equal to limit n tends to infinity 1 plus 1 by n whole raised power n, which can be expressed as 1 plus 1 upon 1 factorial plus 1 upon 2 factorial plus 1 upon 3 factorial and so on. Ultimately, when we solve this equation, we get the value as 2.718. In the same manner, for e raised to the power minus 1, we have the series as 1 minus 1 upon 1 factorial plus 1 upon 2 factorial minus 1 upon 3 factorial plus 1 upon 4 factorial. For better understanding, you can have a look over here. As you already know, whenever we are expressing a negative term to even powers, it becomes positive. So that is what we are observing over here. As you can observe in these equations, in this one itself, e raised to power minus x. The first term was 1. Second, minus x upon 1 factorial. Then we have positive x square upon 2 factorial. Now this has become positive because minus x into minus x will be plus x. Now for x cube, minus x into minus x into minus x will be negative itself. That is the reason we have minus x cube over here. The x will be positive since it will have an even power, that is x raised to power 4. The same thing has been written over here also. Let's have a look at the logarithmic series. The logarithmic series are log e 1 plus x is equal to x minus x square upon 2 plus x cube upon 3 minus x raised to power 4 upon 4 plus so on. And the thing to be noted here is that the mod of x will either be equal to 1 or less than it. For example, if we find out the value of log of e of 2, what do we observe over here? Now 2 can be written as 1 plus 1, that is the value of x becomes 1 over here. So replacing x with 1 in this particular equation, what do we have? 1 minus 1 square upon 2, which is 1 by 2, 1 by 3 minus 1 by 4 plus so on, which amounts to a total of 0.6931. Let's move further. Log e of 1 minus x is expressed as minus x square upon 2 minus x cube upon 3 minus x raised to 4 upon 4 minus and so on. In the same manner, 1 upon 2 log e 1 plus x upon 1 minus x can be expressed as x plus x cube upon 3 plus x raised to power 5 upon 5 and so on. As you can observe over here, the powers are odd over here, that is 1, 3, 5 and so on. Let's move on to the next topic, which is logarithm. You've already studied this in your previous classes. However, there are certain basic formulas which you'll be using over here also. So we'll just revise it. Log to the base a mn can be written as a sum of log to the base a of m and log to the base a of n. In the same manner, log to the base a m upon n can be written as a difference of log to the base a m minus log to the base a n. Log to the base a m raised to the power n can be written as n log to the base a m. Now, if we have to change the base, what we'll do? Suppose we have log to the base a of m, we can express it as log to the base b of m into log to the base a of b. Further, log to the base a m is equal to log to the base b of m and log to the base b of a, where a, b, m and n are positive integer. Further, log to the base e of m can be written as log to the base 10m into log to the base e 10. Since the value of log to the base e 10 is 2.3026, which is normally taken as 2.303, so putting the value, we have 2.3026 into log 10m.